Welcome to my top 10 model kit builds of 2024. So, a couple of quick rules. These all kits are made in 2024, not ones that necessarily came out in 2024. Some are quite a bit older, and these are not all Gunpla kits. There's a few non-Gunpla or non-Bandai kits. This list is only for those Gunpla-esque model kits, no Warhammer, but I might do another video for that soon. So kicking off at number 10 is the 30-minute fantasy Liber Knight. So this kit should be white and grey plastic, but I went for a full-on custom job with it. I primed it grey and then I painted it to morph its Dark Souls aesthetic. Went with a metallic and gold trim colour scheme, as you can see. It's a really fun kit. It's probably the cheapest kit on this list. It's definitely the smallest. And technically it kind of falls between high grade and master grade for size, although this top 10 might show that grade doesn't really mean size. There's a ton of articulation on this kit and a fantastic design, makes it well worth its spot at number 10. At number 9 is the Metaverse Chimera. So this was one of the first kits I made in 2024. It's from a 3-part Gundam anime that just came out on YouTube. And to be honest, I pre-ordered it when I saw the silhouette, as it had strong Neo Zong vibes. I love the idea of a Gundam piloting a bigger Gundam, and this model kit, whilst basic, it does hit on that premise. It's got individual articulation at the fingers, which is always nice and rare at high grade, and it comes with its own stand, which is always one of my favourite things for to be added to any model kit. Solid kit, has some fantastic shelf presence. So in at number 8 is the Winggunam Zero Master Grade. This is the Vercar version of this kit. I just adore the design. The Wing Zero Vercar has got some improvements over the stock model from what I've heard, but the wings just look phenomenal, and they offer so many opportunities for posing and getting it looking just how you want. I haven't had the time to do the panel lining or decals, but I'm going to hopefully get around to do that at some point. And again, just for reference, this is the Vercar version of the kit. So that means it's a Kotoki update of that kit, and it's a slightly more complex build. He's one of the designers of the mobile suits and Gunplas related to them. The only downside I will say for this kit is some of the bits just don't style very well, especially the vents in the chest. They just keep falling out, but if you just prod them in and you hope for the best, if you've posed it, it should be fine. Great kit. So there's another master grade Vercar, but number 7, this is the ZET Vercar, and it's one of the newest kits in that line. It's one of the most fun and cleanest builds you can get in modern Gunpla. Like, everything just fits so perfectly, and overall it's just solid as a rock when you pose it. Just assembly, and my god, the assembly, the colour correction on this, and all the little details during this build. It just turns into one of those moments you get building model kits or anything similar to this, where you get that sense of joy just from the build. Just putting this together was one of the most fun experiences I've had in 2024, and the finished product looks incredible. It doesn't matter how you pose it, it's just going to look great. Solid kit, well worth number 7. Number 6 is another master grade, and in my opinion the best master grade of all time, the MG Barbatos. This is the king or queen of master grades in my opinion. The Barbie, as it's affectionately known, is from Iron Blooded Orphans. It's got a really striking design for a Gundam. It's got this super slim waist, but with these quite chunky legs and shoulders, and the massive maul just looks really iconic. But the thing that really makes this the best MG, in my opinion, is just the level of engineering and the build. I mentioned with the Zeta Gundam just how fun it is putting together models, and my god, this might be the most fun build out of any of these kits on the list. If you can only buy one master grade, I recommend the Barbatos. So at number 5, we're getting into the land of the giants now. Borrowing one more kit, all the stuff yet to come is of the quite supersized variety. This Evangelion 01 kit comes from a company called Meng, and it's absolutely massive. It's almost half a metre tall, so it can be quite hard to display as it takes up so much shelf space. That's the Master Grade Zeta next to it, and it just dwarfs it. It's so big I don't really fit it onto any shelves, so I have to put it in my office because it's the only place I've got space. And it's not the cheapest of builds, but for hobbyists who want something massive or really love Eva, it's highly recommended. Number 4 is my mega size Unicorn Gundam, which is just one of the biggest Gundam I own. It's even bigger than the Eva 01. There it is next to a Master Grade Zeta Gundam and a can of Coke for scale. And as you can see, it's ginormous. It's huge. There's only a few of these kits. I think there's 6 in total, and there's 3 of them. The Char Zaku 2, the OG Gramps, and the Unicorn Gundam, which you can see is the biggest. For scale, in the bottom right, there's a high grade Zaku 2. So you can see it's a massive difference in scale. But these are essentially giant high grades. So they're quite simple builds, but it costs 80 quid, whereas that Evangelion's about 130. And the amount of fun you get for 80 quid with this build is unreal. It's so highly recommended. I love my Unicorn Gundam. At number 3, it's one of the most expensive kits in my collection, and it's a bit of a centerpiece, to be honest. So this is the Perfect Grade Xier. I've got 2 perfect grades, this and the Unicorn, and this is my favourite one by far. Once you add in that LED kit, it's a bit of a stunner. And I went for the Cosmos LED, as that was about half the price of Bandai's official one. And from reviews, it's got better LEDs, and it can be powered from the mains, which is how I run it. Perfect grades are often seen as the pinnacle of Gunpla and have some of the most insane detail. And as you can see, once you've got the LED set up in this, it just takes centre stage in my shelf. And the way it can cycle through all the different colours as well. It's a real head turner of a kit. It was a really fun build as well. Very complex because it's a perfect grade. It's the hardest grade of Gundam. But it was just a fun build to put together. And it's fantastic even if it is a touch expensive. On to the second pick, and this is one of my most recent kits, but it's a contender for my favourite kit of all time. It's a third party kit from a company called Inera, and I just fell in love with this kit as soon as I started unwrapping it. I get some people might be turned off by the design and just how extra it is, but I love it. And those miniguns on either side just look brilliant in my opinion. There's 2 big factors that this puts right in the highest echelons of Gunpla for me. Number 1, that level of colour correction and part separation is on par with a Master Grade EX Strike Freedom. And to be honest, it beats both my perfect grades for that level of detail. I'd go so far as to say I prefer it to the Master Grade EX Strike Freedom. The second point is price. That MGEX cost 130 quid, and this was about half that, 70-ish. That was from AliExpress, but that included shipping and taxes. A fantastic kit, well worth its second place. Right, here's first place, the Big Kahuna, and nothing could have ousted this in terms of build for 2024. The almighty high grade Neo Zong, and just look at the majesty of this behemoth. It's so big, I struggled to find a place to film it for this video. It's about 1 metre tall including the halo, and I think it's officially the biggest model kit in the Gunpla range, besides the odd one-off. I'm going to repeat the grade again, but this is a high grade. That's 1/144th scale. That's the smallest grade of Gundam, and it's the biggest because it's essentially a space station LARPing as a Gundam. Yep, that is a smaller high grade, piloting the bigger high grade. It's a bit of a holy grail for me, so when I got into the hobby, it took some time to track one down, and it's incredibly expensive for a model kit, so not for the faint of heart or wallet. I'll also say it has 2 big flaws. Number 1, it's got almost 0 articulation besides those 6 gun arms, so it's not the most elegant for posing, and it's so big, it's hard to find somewhere to display it. Not only is it super tall, but its footprint requires some thought too. However, all of that becomes irrelevant when you do find somewhere to display it because, I mean, just look at it. She's gorgeous. It is the best model kit I own. So, number 1, high grade Neo Zero. So I hope you found that list fun or useful, and please drop a comment into this video if you have any suggestions for future kits for me to make or review, or any feedback. I've only really started doing this just to have fun for friends and just show off some of my model kits. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you, like I said, drop me a comment. Until next time, toodles.